what's about to go down here. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is Dapo Ibrahim. If you're a first timer, welcome. And if you're a returning listener or viewer, welcome back and thank you for being a returning viewer. Today, I'll be going into the video interview of Patrick Bet David interviewing Dan Bilzerian. They had a very deep conversation, and at some point, based off what Dan Bilzerian was saying, he was just pretty open and he was just speaking his mind. However, during the process of speaking his mind, he was speaking against, or he was speaking about, one of the most protected communities in the world. And we know exactly what happens when you speak up against that community. A lot of people have done it in the past, and things really didn't end up really well for them. A lot of people spoke against this community, so to say, and lost over $1 billion. Well, not a lot of people, someone specifically, you know what I'm talking about. Lost over $1 billion in less than 48 hours. So, Dan Bilzerian here in this video is saying something, and I want us to just listen and feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. I wouldn't be saying so many things because, of course, I'm not at the point where YouTube really can't just, I can't just do whatever I want, you know what I'm saying? YouTube is really policing everything, especially on my channel for some reason. They're policing everything, and if I post something, they're like 2 seconds away from just giving me a strike. So I don't want to deal with none of that. And we'll go into the video and we'll see what Dan Bilzerian has to say about this community. So in the comment section, feel free to, post things, share your thoughts, critical thoughts, rational thoughts. Always keep in mind we have to speak our rational mind, not just speak from emotions or speak from your feelings. Not like we don't respect your feelings over here. It's just, in the most case, a lot of the things that has to do with feelings really don't fly in the rational world. So when you're speaking your feelings all the time, it's almost like, thinking things through. So think everything that you're gonna speak about, think it through. Think before you speak, think before you act, and you will find yourself at a rational spot. So let's go into the so-called video.
To a different conversation with you. Recently, when I watch some of your tweets, I don't know if you've announced this or not. I don't know if you've joined APAC. I don't know if you are, if you are an advisor for them. Let me read some of these tweets. Muslims aren't the problem. The open borders and motherfuckers and the media attacking nationalism, pushing DEI, transgenderism, and destroying moral values are the problem. August 4th. If you don't put America first as a U.S. politician, you are committing treason. Supporting Israel is bad for America. Netanyahu is a convicted war criminal and Israel is not our ally. We fought way too many wars for Israel and we certainly don't need to give them any more money. July 25th. These idiots have ruined movies. Everything they put out is literally propaganda. And then all of a sudden we got scripture here. For what shall it profit? For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Is this recent comments you're making about Israel a recent thing, or have you always had these beliefs?
All right, before Dan Bilzerian speaks, I just want to give us a little bit of context into what APAC is. So APAC brings together the Democrats and the Republicans to advance their shared mission. Building bipartisanism, support for the U.S.-Israel relationship is an American value that they are proud of. That's what APAC is. APAC is a national organization with more than 3 million grassroots members who want to strengthen and expand U.S.-Israel relationship. PBD is asking if he joined APAC, and let's listen to his response.
It's more recent. I didn't really realize what a problem it was until recently, and then everybody was scared to say something about it. My brother told me, you can't say anything about it. They'll fucking kill you. Everybody basically said that I couldn't say anything about it. And actually now they're literally trying to kick me off the board of my company because of those tweets. So, shit. Yeah, I've definitely had a lot of negative pushback. A lot of my Jewish friends but I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like one of those things where I know that it's the right thing, and the fact that everybody else is scared to say it makes me, you know, feel obligated to be vocal about it.
Why do you think it's the right thing?
Because I know that they're a fucking parasite. Like, they provide the U.S. absolutely no value. They've done so many things that, you know, would constitute, you know, an act of war against us. I mean, USS Liberty, Lebanon Affair, I mean, it can go on and on and on and on and on. But, you know, I think they knew about 9/11. I think they had JFK assassinated. The first thing that he wanted to do, you know, right before he died was, you know, make AIPAC a foreign entity, and not allow them to have nukes. And then all of a sudden this fucking guy's dead. And Jack Ruby, who is Jack Rubenstein, you know, I mean, it's just like, and then you just, I don't know, man, I can't ignore all the shit that they've done. They sold their secrets. Netanyahu lied to us about weapons of mass destruction. We fought all these fucking wars. My friends have died over there. Like, you know, and I just look at what they provided us with, and it's fucking, it's not nothing. It's like a negative, you know, it's not, even if they just didn't do jack shit, that would be, you know, bad, but they've actually done things to hurt us over and over and over again. So like this whole thing of they're our greatest ally is just complete fucking bullshit. And, you know, we send them $100 billion, then they send AIPAC $100 million, and then they distribute it to our politicians, and every politician is a little fucking AIPAC handler walking around and telling them what to fucking say and how to vote. And it's just like, look, I'll donate like $100 grand to politicians, you know, and they call me up like, hey, you need anything? Like every week. I don't need shit. I fucking sit on my ass. I don't do anything. I don't care. I don't fucking break any laws. I don't need any favors. Like, I just gave it to them because I didn't want to see any more fucking retard, you know, Democrats in there. So, you know, but that's 100,000. Like, what does 100 million buy you? How many fucking phone calls do those guys get? You know? And so, like, I just know how it works. And the system is broken. Like, these people get into office and they don't have very much money, and they get out of office with fucking tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not a fucking accident, right?
Is that an Israel thing, or is that anybody? Because China's doing the same thing.
China doesn't have they don't have an AIPAC. Like, Israel is the only one that has a fucking, like, a lobby in the U.S. fucking, you know, giving these politicians money.
Okay, no, every country, the big ones all have lobbyists. They all have lobbying that they're doing.
Not in the U.S. They're registered as foreign entities.
Right. I mean, if you're talking about, are you going to the dual citizenship part with Israel, you know, Israel?
That's another problem is a lot of our politicians have far more allegiance to Israel than they do the United States. I mean, that's a whole nother issue as well.
Do you know why they did the dual citizenship? Do you know the history behind why they did the dual citizenship?
What do you mean?
Like, so the whole concept of dual citizenship was because when Israel became a, you know, country again, they didn't want the people from here who wanted to go back to Israel that didn't have a motivation to go if they were going to lose their citizenship here. So that was the reason why they did it. It was kind of like, okay, you're your own country. We kind of need some of you guys to move over there to help the country out. Yeah, but I'm not going to go. Why are you not going to go? Am I going to lose my citizenship here? But you are. I mean, we don't do that. Every other country, you got to, I don't want to lose my citizenship. Well, okay, how about if we do this? How about if we allow you, just Israel, to go back to your country, you won't lose your citizenship? That was the arrangement at the beginning why they did it that way.
No, look, I get it. I have 3 citizenships. You know what I mean? I think it's okay. I think
What's the third one? I know Armenia, but what's the...
St. Kitts.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't have an issue with dual citizenship. My issue is when somebody is holding a U.S. office and they are putting a foreign nation's interest before America's interest, and they are favoring that other country. And so that, to me, is treason. Like, when you are a U.S. government official, your motivation should be to do things in the best interest of the government that you are representing, not 100%. Some other fucking foreign country. And that's the problem.
Okay, so, but go through it. So what is the solution? Meaning, if Israel's the enemy, then if let's just say you don't do anything and everybody in the Middle East unites to take out Israel, do you think the Middle East is better without Israel? And do you think the world's a safer place without Israel?
100%. It's not even close.
Okay, tell me why. Why do you think?
Give me an argument otherwise. Please.
But
give me one argument why the world would be better off with Israel. Let's just start with that. One thing. Give me one thing.
Have you ever lived in the Middle East?
No.
I lived there for 10 and a half years. It's a very, it's not as like here. You can sit here, you can be an atheist, you can be an agnostic, I can be a Christian, it can be a Jew, it can be an LDS, Muslim, no problem. We can coexist here. You can do that in Israel. You can do that.
I mean, not really. They're operating apartheid right now. So everybody's not living equally.
Not at the level of Iran. Not at the level of what Iran is doing. I mean, in Iran, if you're thinking what Israel is doing out of control, do you know how much money Khamenei's families made? Do you know how much money they've taken? They have 200.
I've never been to Iran, but I've been to Dubai, I've been to Saudi, like I've been to UAE. So like, and they're all Muslim. They seem to be operating fine.
I would say Iran's slightly different than. But go back to it. So okay, so you think the Middle East and the world would be a better place if Israel didn't exist?
Yes.
Okay.
Israel's committed, so many terrorist attacks. They're stealing land right now. They're operating apartheid. They're currently committing a genocide on Palestinians. Like, do you believe in the genocide they're committing?
I think they're fighting for themselves and they're defending themselves.
Do you think that's defense?
Well,
when 1,200 people died, and of which the 1,200 you've killed and admitted that you've killed a lot during, your Hannibal.
I will tell you this. The part I question where people who are Jewish can't stand when I say this, I don't know how you, Netanyahu, claim you have the best intelligence in the world, Mossad, and you didn't know that on October 7th they're attacking
you. They knew about it. They didn't. They wanted it to happen, so they had a reason to take that. They wanted a reason to take the land.
I totally get it.
And they killed their own citizens. And they claimed that all these people got raped. That was bullshit. They claimed beheaded babies. That was bullshit. Everything that they said was a fucking complete. Not only was it a lie, but they committed all those atrocities themselves to the Palestinians and been caught doing it. In fact, they just got caught gang raping Palestinians. How many babies have they killed? All the things that they accuse the Palestinians of or Hamas of or whatever, they're guilty of 100-fold themselves. And they've been doing that. Like October 7th wasn't the start of this. Like the start of this was Nakba. They've done so many different.
Disagree. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, so I mean, this is not like, it's not like October 7th is like, just all of a sudden they just came over there unsolicited and just killed people. Like they had been killing Palestinians for years and years, operating two sets of justice. It's like they have the justice for the Palestinians and the justice for the Israelis. And if you read the Talmud, like, if you're not Jewish, you're basically not a human. You're like, like cattle. If a Jew is killed by, somebody that's not Jewish, then it's the death penalty. If a Jew kills somebody that's not a Jew, then you can't kill them. It's not the death penalty. Like they literally like segregate in their Bibles.
They're very protective of themselves. I don't think anybody can debate that. I don't think it's a.
It's not the problem isn't that they're protective of themselves. The problem comes when you think that you're better than other people, and you think it's okay to lie to anybody that's not a Jew. You think it's okay to steal from people that are not a Jew. You have two sets of standards. The problem with that is it allows you to rationalize anything, right? And human beings are generally self-serving creatures. So if your fundamental religious belief system allows you to operate in such a way that you believe there isn't consequences to stealing from other people, killing other people, raping, kids that are under 9 years old, like if you think those things are okay, then, how are you going to operate? Because to me, like my moral code keeps me on track.
I don't think that's.
I mean, his moral code, that's like his personal moral code. But what it's saying is something, think about it. Every superior country or every country that thinks they're superior to the next country does that. So him saying Israel does this, if you think about it, Israel has one of the most superior intelligence in the world, this most superior, one of the most superior education system. Israel is like a small country surrounded by all these other Middle Eastern countries, and they're still like almost like a giant within the Middle East. And it's not just because of the fact that they are winning this war, it's because they have so many resources to themselves. They have intelligence, they have the backings of developed countries like America, protecting them. So there's so many things that makes them stand as a giant of Middle East. And that makes them act in a position of superiority, whereby they deem themselves fit, to be much more worthy than other countries. Now, think about it. If you were, an Israeli or a Jewish person, how would you operate in that place? Would you operate out of fairness, or would you operate out of, okay, I gotta protect my people? Because when it comes to family, when it comes to people, when it comes to, clanship, most people have to stay with their own family or people that they can relate to. Just like if you're a student, for example, and you go into a classroom and this is your very first time in the classroom, right? Let's say you're you're a black student, and the moment you go into that classroom and you have like people from different races, you have the Mexican, you have the white, you have the Irish, you have everyone. The moment you enter the classroom, you the first thing you're looking around for is people who look like you. Okay, people who look like you, so you can associate with them, and you know it's almost like a means to survive. So Israel acting in this stance, I wouldn't say it's not possible. However, this is the 21st century, right? And fairness and justice system and transparency is all these things that we keep pushing. That's what should be practiced, especially when you are so-called highly advanced. So that's something that's questionable if they are really doing all those things or all these claims that Dan is pushing out there. Like if that's really what they're doing, then things are becoming more and more questionable. So that's something that needs to be looked into. Um, and at some point, you don't really need to look into it because the facts are always out there. And that's one of the questions that I also ask myself, because like did how did you fall? I mean, how did you become a victim of this kind of attack when you have the world? Basically, Israel has the most, like I said, one of the best intelligence in the world, to the point where I believe the Israeli Mossad system feeds America with intelligence. So that's something to just ponder, about, something to think about. Like I said, let me know what you guys are thinking, because this is a very sensitive topic. I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube at some point decides to take down this video, but regardless, please make sure you leave comment below and share your thoughts. This is an open space where everyone's voice matters. So let's keep listening.
That's what it is. I don't think it's because you're saying it one-sided. You're not telling the other side of the story on what they're doing either. You're not saying what Hamas did. You're not saying what they did.
What did Hamas do?
I mean, from day one, when you see the rapes and the videos, we've all seen it. This isn't something
What rapes and videos?
But stay on this here if you want to continue with this.
But what rapes and videos?
But my concern when you're saying Israel's doing it, you're saying the other side isn't doing anything.
No, but I'm asking. No. There was no rapes during October 7th. They've shown no rapes from October 7th. They showed no beheaded babies. All that was bullshit.
I'll send you stuff. No, there's plenty of stories. It's not all of them.
The Israeli articles that I saw recently said that there was only 2 babies killed. One was shot by a bullet, and the other one died in a hospital. There was no babies in ovens. There was no beheaded babies. All that was all bullshit.
Okay, so go back to the part when you said they think they're better than you. You believe that Jews think they're better than everybody else.
It says it in their Bible.
Okay, but you believe they're better than everybody else. Okay.
I didn't say they're better than everybody else.
They think.
According to their scripture.
Okay, but what if...
And if you look at how they operate, right, like they literally caught people raping Palestinian prisoners, and there was riots. But the riots weren't because they were raping the prisoners. The riots were because they felt like they had the right to rape the fucking prisoners. That's why they almost had a fucking civil war, because they felt like they had the right to rape these prisoners. They felt like that was okay because they weren't Jewish. So, when you have a society that operates like that, you're going to have fucking problems. And they're not the fucking most moral army. That's all fucking bullshit. And, everything that they say, it's just like almost like, listen, when somebody lies to me, like if you lie to me, I'm not probably going to trust you again. You lie to me a second time, I'm definitely not going to trust you. You lie to me a third time, and I let you lie to me the third time, I'm the fucking idiot. These motherfuckers have lied like 10,000 times. So, like, I don't believe anything they say anymore.
I come from a place of, I don't sit here expecting you to tell me 100% the truth. I don't sit here thinking, yeah, Dan's going to tell me 100% the truth with whatever he has in his life. I don't expect that from you, because I don't expect people to walk on water. That's not my expect. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live it with my life, but you can't think that China's going to tell us the truth, or Iran tells us the truth, or U.S. tells everybody the truth, or you think any country is going to tell us 100% the truth.
But I don't know, man. I got a different moral code. Like in gambling,
it's not about
but in gambling and business, like with my friend group, like you lie one time, you welch on a debt, you do one
You're
thing.
Talking friendship, though.
I'm just saying, my friends, people that I know, people that I do business with, people I gamble with, like
it's the same thing I have as well. It's the same thing most people have. There's a difference between on the personal side than on the countryside. So you're America first. Is it fair to say you're America
Yes.
first? Okay. How do you feel about the protesting and the rioting going on in schools, academia, Harvard, Columbia, when you've seen all the stuff that's going on, Free Palestine, Gays for Gaza, when you see that, what do you think about it? Does it do anything to you, or you're like, let me support them?
I mean, I think it's pretty funny that it wasn't a problem until it was against Israel. It wasn't a problem with BLM. It was fucking encouraged with
There's
BLM.
always a problem with
Bullshit. They fucking encouraged it. They let them burn down police stations. There was no
For me,
repercussions.
I'm not talking
No,
mainstream.
no, I'm talking about
Yeah.
our government, our media encouraged that shit, right? They encouraged it when it was BLM. Like, they literally burnt down police stations and it was fine. The mayor came out and was like, no problem, no arrests, no big deal. We don't give a fuck.
Right.
Take down statues, destroy buildings, burn cop cars, do whatever you want to do. But the moment it was Israel, now all of a sudden,
Why do you think they were
students
okay with
get
that?
the shit beat out of them. They get arrested. They get pepper sprayed. They get fucking maced. And those are peaceful protests. BLM was not peaceful, but it was fine because it wasn't criticizing Israel. What does that tell you?
Let me ask you a question.
Well, we'll answer that. What does that tell you? Who's in charge here?
But you're talking to a guy that I'm not sitting here saying with BLM. I'm talking to you like you and I. I'm not talking to you with $2-3 billion of damage they did to small business owners in communities that African Americans are living in, and who controls mainstream media. And there's only 2 outlets right now. We're talking to a couple of your friends here that were during lunchtime. We're having a conversation while we're having dinner with who controls mainstream media. The left. The only one that's on the right is one. Okay, and that's also going to the left. Who controls CNN, CBS, ABC? That's left. Who controls universities? Left. Who controls schools?
Well, it's like
Left.
90-something% Jewish.
Right.
I mean, we could say left, but it's Jewish if we're being honest.
Not necessarily, because even right now, if you think about it, if you think about the right and the left, okay, who's taking the biggest hit with losing Jewish voters? Because most Jews vote left. They're not voting on the right.
Jewish vote is
politically.
irrelevant. They're like 2% of the population.
But the money that they vote with their money.
I mean, yeah, but like at the end of the day, I think how much money goes into these campaigns isn't going to dictate as much as when you have a president that's like potentially getting assassinated. Like those are the drivers. I mean, Kamala Harris is a drunken school teacher. Like she can't even like formulate a coherent sentence. I mean, I don't know. The idea of voting for her just seems crazy. My biggest criticism of Trump is his support of Israel. I mean, aside from that, I mean,
why do you think he's supporting Israel?
because of money. That's why they all fucking support Israel. Money.
Well, you said it's not about money a minute ago.
Well, he wants money. I mean, these politicians are right. I mean, there's 2 reasons to run for president.
Right.
Because you're a good person and you want to do good.
Okay.
Or because you want fucking money
Sure.
and fame. That's it. It's the only reason somebody would join
You're a
president.
good person.
Or you want money and fame.
And fame.
That's it.
2 reasons why you run.
Why else would you
Why
run
do you
for
think
president?
Trump's reason is?
Money and fame.
You think he wants money and fame?
100%.
You think Trump's running because he wants money and fame?
100%.
He has money. He is famous.
He wants people to love him. He wants attention. I mean, he was doing like reality shows for Christ's sakes. Like he wants more money.
I totally get it, but you think he is more, he is, how much you think it matters for Trump to be liked?
I think he wants people to like him.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if that's the case, he should have never ran, because ever since he ran, people don't like him.
I get it.
Where,
Well, I mean, but the fame is like that. I mean, fame is polarizing. Like,
There's a
I
big
mean,
difference,
there's
though.
very few people that become famous that don't have people hate them. I mean, it comes with the territory. Like, if you want to be loved, you're going to be hated as well. It's just, that's the
in
way it is.
2014, he could have been invited to Beyonce and Jay-Z's party in 2014. In 2014, he would have been invited to, with NAACP. In 20, he went to everything. So
It's one thing to be invited to parties, another thing to have international
No, I'm
status
talking from
and
the
legacy
side.
and, I mean.
So the reason why I brought the money side with Jews, so who do you think the recent event with October 7th hurt more, the left or the right, politically?
October 7th? What do you mean?
Israel, Hamas, like this whole back and forth. Which political party you think has lost more, taken a bigger hit with their position they've taken with the Jews?
I mean, they're both pro-Israel. So I don't think it's a left against the right when it comes to Israel. And that's like what people think is like, but it's just a distraction. Like they're both pro-Israel. They're both, fucking Biden's giving Israel shitloads of money. Like, what do you mean? Trump's going to give shitloads of money. Trump's going to fucking go to war with Iran. What are you talking about? They're both fucking.
You think Trump's going to go to war with Iran?
He said he's going to.
No, it's his way of saying to not go to war.
He said he's going to.
The same way he said with everybody else that he was going to push them. Well, more didn't happen. He said.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like he said that he was going to.
So then let me ask you. So who would you vote for today? It doesn't sound like you're voting for anybody.
I mean, if I had to choose between those two, Trump for sure. I don't even think it's close. I mean, Kamala's half a fucking retard. And she pushes, all this woke left ideology. It's just nonsense. Like, I mean, she's a fucking complete moron. Not that Trump is like a super genius either, but like light years past her. I mean, she was like one of the most hated people. Like, how she even got the fucking nomination is beyond me. Like,
there you have it. You have Dan's argument and you have PBD's argument. Let me know exactly what you think about both of their arguments. Do you think PBD is falling off? Do you think he's not making a strong stand as it's supposed to make? Because PBD also is a very smart dude. He's a very intelligent dude. And the video I was talking about, Israel being the country that has the highest form of, the best form of military intelligence, actually came from PBD's channel. But in this video, he's saying he's not expecting everyone to be super truthful. He's not expecting everyone to be open. And Dan is like, well, my moral code is I have to be open. I wouldn't classify everything Dan is saying as 100%. He's the most intellectual person. But when it comes to being open, when it comes to being truthful, when it comes to just speaking your mind as it is, I'll give that to him. And that's something that I think people value. You should be able to speak your mind at all point. But then the consequences of that is something that, a lot of people are not really ready to live with. Because when you speak your mind in some places, when you speak your mind against some, a specific protected group, things happen. So we just gotta sit and wait for what's gonna happen, because he spoke his mind. He said what he has to say. But then, what do you guys think? I would also like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. So please feel free to leave comments. And once again, if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Peace. It's about to go down here.